Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word.
Hey, Nepa.
Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business. Welcome, good evening, and this is the Energy Outlook. My name is Wisdom Chap Jumbo. I'm talking to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. Another interesting week again, and we're back with more conversations on energy. This week, quite a few things have happened in the energy sector, and we're going to start this way to bring you up to speed, really, to a very important story that's happening in the energy sector this week. So this Thursday, this week, experts gathered at a hotel and suites in Lagos to celebrate NAPE at 50. Yes, NAPE, which is the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists, celebrated its 50 years anniversary as an association. The association was founded in 1975 by 10 pioneering geoscientists and has grown into Africa's largest professional body of petroleum geoscientists and related disciplines. NAPE, for those of you who are in the energy sector, you know that the annual NAPE conference that we always attend is quite a gathering of experts, and a lot of things are shared, a lot of insights, and it's indeed where we come to refresh our minds, really, when we talk about petroleum exploration and some of the new ideas that have come into the space. On Thursday, which is yesterday, experts gathered indeed at a hotel to celebrate NAPE at 50. It was quite interesting, as watching all of these experts come together, their conversations, reflecting on their journey for the last 50 years was quite refreshing. I'm not sure, I know many associations that have lasted for this long, for 50 years. It shows a lot of contribution to the space, and we indeed congratulate NAPE. As part of the event, NAPE also called for a bold energy exploration human capital investment. And this was a major highlight of this NAPE event to celebrate their 50 years of existence. And while they did this, they had called for a deeper oil and gas exploration and innovation and strategic investment in human capital as they mark their 50 years. The president of NAPE, Mr. John Bosco Uche, was supposed to be on the program today, but unfortunately other business called and he wasn't able to make it. I really wanted to have him walk us through how they've been able to really do much more for the energy sector in the last 50 years. And speaking at the Golden Jubilee on Thursday, the NAPE president, Mr. John Bosco Uche, described the milestone as a generational legacy of excellence. He urged government, industry stakeholders, and young professionals to collaborate in unlocking Nigeria's vast untapped energy resources. Since 1975, NAPE, has existed and contributed massively to the growth of the energy sector in Nigeria. 1975 was around the time I think exploration started in Nigeria, where we have like the likes of Shell, started drilling the Oloibiri in Bayelsa State, and all that has happened over the years. So for the last 5 decades, they have played a central role in shaping Nigeria's oil and gas. I wish the president of NAPE was on the program today. I have very critical questions I would have put forward to him. After all those exploration in the Niger Delta, what are the contributions that has indeed been made, to make that region better than it is? And I was happy to hear when the chairman of Renaissance Energy was speaking at the anniversary, when he was giving his keynote speech. He indeed indicated that Niger Delta would be the next hub for the energy sector, for the great things that is to come. And we know this period is a very interesting time, as you see that a lot has happened in the energy sector. The divestment we're seeing in the energy space, and all that has happened with the transition to indigenous players to man the onshore and shallow water assets in the energy sector is a testament of quite a lot of growth. This period, we have seen how divestment has made Shell sell off the onshore and shallow water asset to a new consortium of companies called Renaissance, and other divestment has happened within the energy sector. It's quite a pivotal time for the energy sector, and we indeed want to congratulate NAPE for this anniversary celebration. I just thought to give a deep dive into all that has happened yesterday with NAPE. The president has agreed to find time to be with us on the program, and who indeed put forward quite a lot of questions to him. He has described the celebration as a legacy of excellence, a generational legacy of excellence. I'd like so many questions to ask him, but we'll let you know to keep following the program where we can make time to have him on the show. All right, so today we're discussing a very interesting topic: accelerating gas investment in Nigeria. We have really been hitting a few points on gas in the last couple of weeks, and it's intentional because there's so much happening within that we want to see gas is a transition fuel. And with gas, there's much more we can achieve. And Nigeria is indeed, blessed with the largest natural resources, natural gas reserves in Nigeria, in Africa rather, and so many untapped opportunities for us as a people, as a country. But how far have we gone? What is needed in the sector the most? And if you watch what some of the experts have told me on the program, there's a lot that needs to go into investment for infrastructure if we need to achieve more with gas. If you miss our episode on the AKK gas project, you should go and watch it again. It's live on our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, where we got an expert to break down for us the AKK gas project. That is the Ajakuta Kano Kaduna gas pipeline. A lot has happened with quite a substantial amount of investment for that project that will connect, gas up north, and that will open up an entire ecosystem, and indeed be able to drive more for the country. So today we're taking a deep dive into more conversation on investment, for the gas sector, or for the energy sector itself, and how do we accelerate more investment for gas? And this is what we are discussing today. It's our topic. But before that, we'll go on a quick break. And when we come back, I would like to bring you up to speed on what's trending in the energy sector. What are some of the news you may have missed? And we'll talk about that quickly before we get to the conversation. Stay with me. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines. the show where we connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with me. So, what's trending? Let's bring you up to speed on the news. Our first story is NIPSO intervenes in Enugu tariff dispute, warns of power market disruption. Clearly, the Enugu issue still continues, and the Nigerian Independent System Operators has stepped into the dispute between Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission and the Enugu State and the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company over a tariff cut in the state. Warns that the standoff could destabilize the country's electricity market. The intervention follows reports that the EEDC curtailed power supply to Enugu State by as much as 50% in protest against the state regulator recent order reducing band A electricity rates to 160 per kilowatt hour. The directive, which the EERC insists is within its powers under the Electricity Act of 2023, has drawn criticisms from federal regulators and market operators who argue that the uncoordinated tariff adjustment could undermine the operational and financial, stability of the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Wow. A lot is here. And if you watch our episode on discussing this tariff, again, you can catch that episode on our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. We really made a case to try to look into the issue. This issue in Enugu, is it a legal problem or a commercial problem? And what we arrive at with my guest on that episode is we see that it is indeed a commercial issue. As due to the Electricity Act of 2023, the Enugu State regulator is within its rights and powers to reduce the tariff in the state. But reducing the tariff, you create a commercial issue. This is what experts are saying. And the commercial issue is, how do you meet your obligation, really, to be able to pay for the power that the state will consume at the end of the day? Catch that episode on our YouTube channel to be able to understand the breakdown of that. My guest at the time, Abubakar Omar, power analyst, was able to break down a lot of things. And we are following the conversation. The Forum of Commissioners on Energy and Power are also talking. And we are hoping to get either the chairman or secretary of that forum, which is the commissioner for Kogi State and commissioner for Cross River State, to see if they can indeed come on the program to tell us their own side and what the forum of commissioners are saying regarding this issue. Is there a bottleneck we may need to look at? I think we may need to consider that even as a sector, what if this begins to happen in other states? What should solve the problem? I hope all our lawmakers are looking at that. Our second story is Nigeria approves 2.6 billion electricity debt refinancing plan. This news was on Business Day earlier this week. Nigeria has approved a phased plan to refinance 4 trillion naira in electricity sector debt to help stabilize the nation's aligned power industry and improve supply. The finance minister has said the debt primarily owned to 27 power generation companies for outstanding invoices between 2015 and 2023 has stifled investment in the industry, and caused us to even have more issues and power outages in the country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had earlier pledged to settle the claims following a recent verification. He approved the plan on Wednesday this week. Speaking Speaking after the cabinet meeting, that's the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, the Finance Minister Olawale Edun said the refinancing would be executed within 3 to 4 weeks under the oversight of the Debt Management Office. This was a promise made to the Gencos a couple of weeks back, where the president, had committed to say, look, we are going to look at how we are going to solve this issue of debt, but they're going to do some validations and some verifications of this loan. Like I read in the news now, it's between 2015 and 2023, and the government has said, look, we're going to look at and verify and be sure the actual amount of what we are paying for, and be sure that this is following a good process. I really want to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for following through with this promise, and we are seeing that things are moving to be able to solve this debt. This is a huge debt, 4 trillion naira, which is $2.61 billion. It's quite a lot of money. And if we get this money to the Gencos, there's more that we can do within the power sector to indeed solve our problem. And we hope that this process, as he has begun, will go to a successful end. And like the Minister of Finance have said, this will now run from the Debt Management Office. Indeed, once again, I want to congratulate the President for making that effort. We'll see it go to the successful end, as we have said. Our next story. NNPCL reduces fuel price after Dangote refinery adjust. We are liking the healthy competition, really, within Dangote and NNPCL. Well, we, the consumers, will be benefiting. That's a good thing. So, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has reduced its petroleum motor spirit pump price on Thursday. This report is on the Daily Post and major newspapers in the country, which confirmed that NNPCL retail outlets in the FCT Abuja have reduced their pump price to 890 from 890 liter from 945. So let me take that again. It used to be 945, and now they have reduced the pump price to 890. And I think Dangote has gone down further to 850. This new fuel price has reflected NNPCL outlets such as some of the major areas within Abuja and other filling stations nationwide. This latest down price of fuel by NNPC is a 55 naira reduction in pump price. We see the competition, and it's indeed happening. We like it. Some have said, let them continue till we get it to 500. It's to the benefit of Nigerians, and they did deserve the best. We'll continue to see this healthy competition. It helps us do more. We talked about deeply some of these issues around Dangote and the market in one of our episodes. And also, so you know, today, the 15th of August, Dangote has now rolled out delivery of PMS directly to filling stations with the 4,000 CNG trucks that has been received by Dangote. That will commence immediately. And today, the 15th, we understand that the delivery of this fuel directly to filling station has begun nationwide, and Dangote is rolling that out. And there are different conversations around that. Is he trying to take a monopoly of the market and all of that? But we see that all of those issues have dialed down, as there have been series of engagement with marketers and also players within the space. So things are indeed moving. What will be the outcome of this at the end of the day? We are watching the market to see, but we hope that at the end it will be to the benefit of ordinary Nigerians, so we can all benefit from this. Our next story, FG pledges better incentives to boost energy investments, oil output. This was in the Punch earlier this week. The federal government has reaffirmed its resolve to sustain policies and incentives that will keep Nigeria attractive to global energy investors, saying new measures will target idle oil assets and drive sustainable growth. This assurance was given by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Heneke Lokobere, during an inspection of NNPC Chevron Nigeria Limited joint venture facility in Escravos, Delta State. A statement by the minister's media aide Okafo Nemeka, on Thursday said the incentives that will ensure Nigerians remain an attractive destination for energy investment. Since we assume office, things have changed. Our obligation as government is to provide an environment that is globally competitive to allow you to expand what you are already doing. End of quote. This was said by the Honorable Minister Enikin Lokobere. Yes, I mean, if the energy sector is attractive to get more investment, this is what we want to see happen. We are rich in these resources and we want to see more investment come in so we can indeed grow the energy sector for the betterment of ordinary Nigerians, and it's what we indeed want to see happen. So more of this is what we want to see. And from the records, we see that there have been more investment to the energy sector. I think the special advisor to the president on energy also highlighted some of this, which we have talked about in the show previous times. And we want to see more of that happen so that Nigerians can also benefit from all of this. Our next story, fuel consumption dropped 16% to 1.4 billion liters in June. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, has said that the consumption of petroleum motor spirit PMS, otherwise known as petrol, dropped to 1.44 billion liters in June 2005 from 1.76 billion liters in May 2005, indicating a month-on-month decrease, and that's about 16%. Director of Public Affairs, NNDPRA, George Eneita, who confirmed the consumption level on Wednesday, said the nation's average consumption stood at 48 million liters per day. He stated that the total fuel evacuation for June was precisely 1.4 million liters, representing about 16% decrease compared to May total supply, figure of 1.7 million liters, or billion liters rather, a drop of over 290 million liters. This is so many figures we are seeing here. But what they are saying is, according to him, the figure represents a daily average evacuation of 48 million liters, which is obtained by dividing the total monthly volume by 30 days in the month under review. The real figures are beginning to come out on what is our daily consumption of fuel in the country finally. You recall that what has been debated over the years, especially when we had subsidy, which was a big issue for the sector, was what's our consumption as a country? It's been debated over and over again. And I wonder why it's a big problem for us to be able to say the exact figures. The corruption in the sector has not been able to allow for the right figures for us to know what our consumption really is. And experts have said that this is where the big issue lies, and this is why we're unable to know what the total amount of consumption is in the country with subsidy. All right, so this is all we have for our news. We'll keep following some of this conversation. For me, I'm happy that we are seeing the fuel consumption figures. I'm very happy and glad, honestly. I wish we had this, revealed much better and earlier. It could have been very helpful. But this is all we have in our news bulletin, and of course, what is trending within the sector. I will bring this up to speed every week, so don't miss this segment. It's very important. All right, we'll go on a quick break. My guest is in the studio. I will come back to discuss accelerating gas investment for Nigeria. What should we be doing? Where should we be looking? And what are some of the challenges and issues? Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say. Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. This is still the Energy Outlook Live from Lagos. Okay, so our topic today is accelerating gas investment for Nigeria. With an estimated 600 trillion cubic feet of untapped gas, Nigeria has huge potential around gas, but yet the issue continues to be investment. Well, what are some of the challenges? Where are we? And what can indeed be done to salvage this? My guest today is Osaze Isesele. He's Director of Events and Country Rep at the Gas Investment Forum. He has been driving quite a lot of conversation within the gas space. It's a pleasure to have him in the program. Osaze, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, Wisdom. Thanks so much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Nice. We've not seen in a while, so it's good to catch you sometime like this.
Right here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So, our topic today is gas and investment.
Yeah.
And I know that, and by the way, congratulations on your election to the Nigerian Gas Association.
Thank you very much.
As Publicity Secretary. When is your swearing in, by the way?
I'll leave that for the NGA to decide and tell that to the general public.
Very soon. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, the Gas Investment Forum, you've championed this for quite a while now. Osaze, tell us about the forum really. What are you about? What do you do?
Okay, for us, personally, always talking about natural gas and investment in the space is always very exciting. But we need to go beyond the euphoria, the excitement, and what it portends economically for us, and to begin to do real groundwork to see that we move from where we are to where we need to be. Nigeria has made a lot of progress, if I should put it that way. We're in the middle of the decade of gas agenda
Yeah.
already, but the momentum needs to be strengthened. We need to go beyond where we are currently. And of course, you already know the story. President Muhammadu Buhari, late President Muhammadu Buhari, came in and with all of the industry stakeholders, bettered the decade of gas agenda, which has been on. And thankfully, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has also been able to strengthen the momentum, of what the decade of gas entail. So it's simply, we've had several plans before this time in Nigeria. We've had the Nigeria Gas Master Plan.
And
We've
that was
had,
in 2008.
yes, we've had a lot of policy instruments and frameworks before this time. But the decade of gas is quite special because it is a collaboration of both the public and the private sector, government working hand in hand with the private sector to see that we accelerate investment. In fact, the fulcrum of the decade of gas agenda is investment and infrastructure development.
So when would you say we are going to turn our potential in gas to real economic value?
That was why in the beginning I said that we need to go beyond the excitement, because like you just mentioned, Nigeria has over, when you declared, is about say 290 CF, but when you add other undeveloped resources, we're looking at about 600.
600.
Right. Now, we need to, reserves do not develop themselves.
Okay.
We need to go beyond just talking about this is the resources we have. Because like I've always said, I've been of the school of thought that despite the global energy transition, I believe that Africans, and especially Nigeria, if you look at the global the gas exporting countries forum, GCF has a global gas outlook report that it puts out there almost every year. When I looked at the 2025 report, it shows a lot of promise for Nigeria as far as harnessing our gas resources is concerned. But we need to go beyond that promise and start talking about real-time production. We need to look at the timelines we have set for ourselves, because by the time you wake up today, wake up the next morning, wake up the next day, we are in 2030 and the decade of gas is gone. So what else are we going to...
So at what stage, where are we with the decade of gas right now, as of today?
I would say that there's a lot that has been done, that is going on. For example, if you look at the reports that have come out from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, you will see that the government has taken some pivotal steps in terms of ensuring tax incentives. There's been a lot of there's also the very prominent one that seeks to ensure investment clarity around LPG, CNG. Of course, the presidential CNG initiative is there. Before this time, it used to be a thing of talk, but then this current administration came in and said, let's start to work on CNG and see that we move to where we ought to be. So the challenges are there quite enormous. In terms of gas utilization, Nigeria, of course, is doing well in terms of exporting. Yeah, but we need to also deepen gas utilization, and we must not rest. We must not rest on our guard. We must do what it takes to move it. So to answer your question, we haven't really done so much, but so much can be done. But we're already taking that steps, and that is why platforms like the Gas Investment Forum,
which was what I was coming to now.
Right.
So let's come back to the Gas Investment Forum. Because I want to connect that to our topic now, accelerating investment. So the forum, you set it up a while back to talk about things around investment.
Yes.
So where are we with investment within the gas space? What are some of the issues we are still having to get more investment for the gas sector?
Yes. So there's been, like I said, there's been some progress, but there's been some issues
What are they?
which we need to also look at.
What
So
are they?
number one, very recently I was in the virtual meeting of
Mm-hmm.
industry stakeholders,
Mm-hmm.
where we also looked at the issues of gas pricing
Okay.
and strengthening the policy frameworks, right?
Okay.
Because whether you like it or not, investors need clarity.
Clarity.
Investors need to, and then but then you if you understand the natural gas business,
Mm-hmm.
you understand that profitability takes some quite when you inject capital, it's
Mm-hmm.
not like other businesses where you get your money or your returns immediately,
Immediately.
right? So there has to be some it's quite a large scale, let me use that word, it's quite a large scale kind of financing business in terms of pushing projects, right? So but then our policy frameworks, the turnaround time for projects to be completed needs to be addressed, right? We
Okay.
just celebrated AKK pipeline crossing about 80%
Yeah.
completion.
Yeah.
OB3 is there, you know. UTM FLNG also have this their FID that has been, you know,
Okay.
passed already. So what we need to do is in the word of our topic today, accelerate, right? There's progress. We're
That's
making
progress. So how do we make it
progress.
faster?
How do we make it
What are
faster?
some of the challenges? Is this a government issue? Is it a private sector issue?
Is it financing
Is it
issue?
financing? If it's
Exactly.
financing, where do we get the money from? There have been substantial amount of investment coming to the energy sector
Yeah.
already. Which of them have gone into gas? So these are some of the I want to put before you now
Yeah.
to say what are some of the issues we need to be looking at?
Okay, like I said, number one of the issues we need to look at is we need to strengthen collaboration between the public and the private sector.
Okay.
Right? When I say collaboration, I've heard a lot of industry people say this, that in the gas industry, we work in silos. So there's a project here, there's a project
But
there.
that's what the decade of gas secretariat is supposed to be doing.
Yes, and as far as I know, that collaboration is ongoing. Like for example, Gas Investment Forum enjoys the partnership of the Decade of Gas Secretariat,
Okay.
right? They've been able to open their office to say this is what we are doing, right? And of course, at the Gas Investment Forum, their representative will be there to talk more on the level they have gotten to and what is left and what needs to be done. So what I like I said earlier on, the private sector and the public sector, we need to find a very robust and seamless handshake, right? And that will happen when we have periodic engagements.
Okay.
That will happen where we have platforms for them to always come
And
together
engage.
and engage and look at project timelines and look at projects that are needed to be on stream, right? And then also, like I said earlier on, regulatory clarity is part of it. Investors need to seek clarity as to what the landscape is about. And for as much as I know, the NUPRC and the NMDPR, which is tasked with that responsibility, is doing their best to ensure that investors also have access to this information. And that is where also Gas Investment Forum comes in, that we're also able to create that table where everybody sits at the table to say, this is what we are doing. If you have issues as regards your projects, as regards your business timelines and all of that, you can always reach out. So we've been able to see how we can get that platform going.
Let's talk about the Gas Investment Forum for a bit.
Okay.
Now, you've done the forum for 2 years.
Yeah.
What have you achieved? What have been your success, if you say?
Okay, for us, the fact that the industry is beginning to pay attention to the forum, for us is a success. Because like I said, till tomorrow, I don't know of any energy investment conference that strictly focuses on gas. Right, we have a lot of energy conferences out there, and you know their programming moves from different areas of the sector. But for us, we have decided to say we believe in the decade of gas agenda. We believe in Nigeria being able to harness its gas resources for economic development, to create jobs, for sustainable development, and all of that.
Okay.
And for us, one of our successes is that we are beginning to create that synergy that the industry needs. right? We're beginning to see that attention. People pay attention to say we actually need a platform like this. So it's first to recognize that there was no platform.
There was no platform.
Now we now recognize that we need actually a platform like this where we can always engage. Why the government is leading its own affairs, you know, in terms of making the business environment friendly and, you know, conducive, the private sector is also saying this is what we want to do in terms of supporting the government. So first success for us is that the industry, that our platform is no longer just an energy investment conference, right?
Okay.
That investment forum is now being positioned and seen as an industry coalition. And that is what you can see from the kind of strategic partners that we have across board.
Let's talk about investment because many experts have said the kind of investment that the sector needs will be long-term financing
Yeah.
For the sector. But others raise the issue of incentives. Do you think the current investment incentive are strong enough for long-term financing?
I would say that it's not a walk in the park, right? Okay. That's why we have to also at the same time appreciate these baby steps and at the same time now consolidate. So like I said earlier on, I think last year there were a lot of incentives. Those things were not there before this time. You know, like the tax incentives on LPG, CNG, and the likes of that. They were not there before this time. So that is why I say that those baby steps need to be applauded, and then we now begin to consolidate. So whether or not they are enough, we need to also be thinking of what do we now do from here. Right? And aside that, it will interest you to know that most of the players in the industry may not even know about, or even new entrants into the industry may not even know that these provisions exist. These provisions have been made by government, right? But that constant engagement, that constant promotion of awareness, right? To say these are the provisions that the government has made that you can harness, you know, will help us, you know, create a more robust sort of incentives that investors will now become more comfortable with. But when that platform is not there to engage, you don't know what the feedback is from, you know, but from what we have seen so far, the latest tax incentives that has been released, like there was one on non-associated gas. And the moment that was declared by the government, I wouldn't mention their name, but then an international, one of the IOCs saw that that was an incentive, and they became the first to partner with the national company to create a gas project that will sort, you know, of make them enjoy that leverage that has been created by the government. So, like I said earlier on, progress is being made, but we have to accelerate. We have to make use of the good resources that we have to ensure that our people have gas in their homes. We accelerate gas-based industries and gas for export, and we keep moving on as far as natural gas is concerned in Nigeria.
Let's talk about CNG.
Okay.
CNG is fast growing.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to say I was in Abuja a while back, and I see that some taxis have fully changed to CNG. Even in Lagos here, some of the downfall buses are running on CNG. So this is really
happening.
It's really happening.
Yeah.
But do you, if you would assess the progress with that, what would your thoughts be around it, and where do you think we need to quickly act if indeed we want to adopt CNG?
Okay, to be fair enough, like I said earlier on, before this time, compressed natural gas was there. But we didn't
focus on it.
We didn't think of moving it. To ensure that we use it for transportation.
And it was cheaper because the taxi guy said he fills his gas like 5,000 naira. And is able to drive the whole day. He makes like 50,000 naira, you know, in a day if he drives from morning till evening. And that's quite a lot of money. But he fills the gas with it's 5,000 naira.
Yeah. So you have just corroborated my thoughts. I have also had engagement with taxi drivers as well. And very recently, one told me that it's very, cost effective. But the challenge is, of course, the demand has to be there. So at the end of the day, it's part of what I'm going to also talk about. Like a few days back, I think we saw that the investments in the CNG space has hit about $900 million, figures quoted by the Presidential CNG Initiative.
Okay.
So that takes me back to say that before this time, this wasn't there, right? Like people has always said that we are just realizing that we are more of a gas nation than an oil nation. So for me, to answer your question, I would say that, like I said earlier on, these challenges does exist. So the driver I was speaking with has also brought to my notice, or has also shared his own thoughts, which has also reinforced the fact that there's a challenge. And one of the challenge is in terms of creating that demand. For example, in Lagos State, how many CNG stations do we have? In Edo State, in the Niger Delta?
No, but there seems to be demand. The issue might just be affordability. Is it affordability or
I
accessibility?
think accessibility and availability. And that is where investments come in. So we need more investments in CNG mother and daughter stations and all of that. So why the demand is there, why the demand has been created. And another thing is promotion of awareness. A lot of people need to also know that this is possible.
The kits to convert are very expensive. I was shocked to hear it's around 800, 700,000 naira to convert from petrol to CNG. That kit, that conversion kit, that doesn't make it. That's a barrier.
That is where the government and the private sector needs to now come together and sit down. Of course, that is why we have platforms like the Gas Investment Forum, where these issues are raised to say why we understand that Nigerians are beginning to buy into the CNG movement. There are challenges as regards availability. When I say availability now, I'm talking about a proliferation of CNG stations all around, just as the same way we have for PMS, for AGU and the other products, right? So we need to also look at it and say we need more. That means we need more investment in those areas. We need more private sector involvement in those areas. We need more people to wear their thinking caps to say, how do we, because when I was in Abuja recently, I saw a lot of conversion centers everywhere. So that is already becoming a business opportunity for people who want to
have the product in Abuja. They struggle to get the product.
Of course, we will come to all of that, looking at subnational gas economies. So all of these things tie together. We have the AKK pipeline, which is on, which when it comes fully on stream,
by next year,
will provide natural gas to the northern region. So we need.
So let me ask you now, how would you assess the job of the presidential CNG initiative? What's your assessment of their efforts so far?
Okay, I would say they are doing quite an excellent job because, like I said earlier on, before this time, there was nothing like CNG for transportation, right? Now they have been taxed with that responsibility, and in just 2 years, they are recording over $900 million in investments. And we can see that though the pace is slow, people are beginning to convert. Now we even have taxi drivers say that I enjoy the benefit. We see the other move with donation of CNG buses, which at the end of the day contributes to environmental sustainability. So in my own personal assessment, I think that they are doing an excellent job. We need to just continue to strengthen, those other loopholes, those other areas that have challenges. We need to continue to engage, with them, and that is why the Gas Investment Forum is here. Thankfully, the PCNGI is one of our partners, and we're also seeing how we can bring them on board and let them be aware of these challenges, right? To see how we can have that collaboration, because it's not something we are going to do working in silos. That collaboration has to be there. So to answer your question, I think excellently they have done. Even before this time, it took the previous administration a long time to even assent to the CNG initiative. So first of all, that is even a success that we've recorded, that yes, this current administration has been able to assent to the CNG initiative, and this is just 2 years down the line.
So you're confident
that I am confident that if we continue to engage, right, that is why we as Gas Investment Forum, we are working with governments together with the public, together with the private sector, to see how we can look at these challenges, you know, and accelerate investments in the sector and ensure that these challenges are brought to the barest minimum.
We're wrapping up now because of time, but I
Okay.
wanted to ask you. I mean, I saw some of the speakers that would be at the Gas Investment Forum, 7th and 8th of October. I wanted to just ask, what would be some of the key focus with the conversation based on some of the issues you've raised now?
Yeah.
You can see you're raising issues, and challenges and some bottlenecks where we are still not clear.
Yeah.
And there needs to be engagement. So where would be your focus at the forum?
So we've worked on a robust programming this year, and we're looking at charting new opportunities for investment, growth, and industrialization. So our three pillars this year is looking at investment, looking at growth, and then looking at industrialization. So we're also looking at
What about
upstream.
gas to power? I mean,
Of course.
power is, we don't often, power is suffering because of gas also.
Yes, but
Is gas to power part of this conversation?
Yes, gas to power is part of the conversation. So there are some challenges that are tied to the gas to power nexus,
Okay.
And which I believe that the Decade of Gas Secretariat is working actively with the government and the private sector to see how that is resolved. There's been some issues with,
The DG of the Secretariat is Edubong.
Yes, Edubong, who is going to be at Gas Investment Forum.
Okay.
He would also share some light as to what the Decade of Gas Secretariat has done so far, in terms of accelerating investments in the country. So this year, our programming has been quite robust. We're looking at upstream, we're looking at local content, we're looking at downstream, we're looking at gas to power. But this year, we're looking at technical and commercial areas when it comes to investors having more clarity. And
there is positioning within the West Africa gas hub.
Yes.
I think we are not talking so much about that yet, maybe because we have a lot of internal issues to resolve. Just quickly as we wrap up, what are some of your thoughts around what we need to do regionally? Is there any opportunity there also?
Yes, for us, because Nigeria is of course the Africa's largest natural gas market, as it were. So what we are doing this year is to position Nigeria as the central hub for West African region. Right, so we're expecting participation from several countries across West Africa, both physically and virtually. And that is also to ensure that beyond positioning, there is some sort of regional cooperation. Right, like I said earlier on, part of the problem is that we have to collaborate more than we are doing right now. So for us, we see that space as an untapped space, and that is why we are trying to see how we can also focus the conversation across West Africa. To say, of course, the West Africa gas pipeline is there and is ongoing, but for us, we want to see how we can strengthen regional cooperation, because we know that it is a pivotal step for us to be able to harness our resources as a country. And then, like I said earlier on, I believe in the school of thought that not just Nigeria, but the entire Africa needs to do what it needs to do to ensure that our natural gas resources is harnessed for economic impact and profitability.
Okay, what we both agree is Nigeria, there's potential and there's value that we need to harness quickly. Demands are rising, but availability is a major issue that we need to solve, and also the scalability, so that there will be enough access. This is what, I mean, we both agree on all of these points, and we'll continue to interrogate some of these points on the program to get more insight. Osaze Isesele is the country rep Gas Investment Forum. Indeed, most thank you for your time on the program. We wish you all the best for the forum event, 7th and 8th of October. We'll be monitoring. We'll be there to make sure that all what they are going to say, they are going to follow.
Of course. So for us, we have two actions that we want to do after the conference.
Okay, quickly. 30 seconds.
Of course, there's a communique that we are going to issue after the conference, and of course, distribute to government and the people that matter. We're also going to work on a a comprehensive event summary report,
Okay.
state of affairs report.
We are going to track
which will
everybody,
also
so
show.
let them know that Energy Outlook will be there to monitor what they are saying, and then we'll follow through. If we don't see progress, we'll make sure that we'll get the answers from them. Osaze,
Yes.
thank you so much for your time
Thank
on
you
the
so much
program.
for the opportunity.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
All right, this is much we can take for this week. Accelerating, gas investment for Nigeria, such a critical conversation, and so just Nigeria's gas potential, gas investment for Nigeria, such a critical conversation, and so just Nigeria's gas potential is vast, like we have seen, we've discussed, but it is only through decisive collective action that we can transform that potential into prosperity, both for our people at home and for our. Catch it on our YouTube. It's Wisdom across all social media platforms at WChap Jumbo. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next week, do have a lovely weekend.